Hey readers, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kathleen and I am here to give you my April wrap-up. The first book that I read in April was Mercy Street by Jennifer Haig, and I wanted to love this book. It follows what sounds like the equivalent of a Planned Parenthood and a woman who works there. And if you don't know me, I have a master's in social work, I have a license in clinical social work, and I have a big heart for the work that social workers do. So that's what kind of intrigued me to this book, and I was so disappointed. It was so boring. I thought it was going to focus a lot more on the dynamics of the clinic and kind of the politics behind that and what it's like for them having protesters, and it just like really missed the bar. So I gave it a 2 stars. It was really disappointing and will probably be gracing the presence of a free little library at some point soon. The next 2 are the 2 book of the month choices that I had this month. I did a whole reading vlog on them, so I won't talk a ton about them today, but I encourage you to check out my vlog, which was my very first video. Yeah. But the first, Lessons in Chemistry, 5 stars. I loved this book. Oh, so good. And then the next one was True Biz. Also loved it. The ending was rushed. I think if the ending had been executed a little bit better, it would have been 5 stars, but it was still a solid 4. I loved it. The next book that I read was also a green light from Jamie Golden on the podcast, Unmissing. I really enjoyed this. It was a really great thriller. As you can see, it's very small. It's a quick one. You can get through it in probably a day or 2. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't anything super memorable or innovative, so it was a 3 star, but it was still good, and I do recommend it. A couple of other books that I read this month came from the library or I read on my Kindle, so I'll just pop their pictures up here. The first was The Unsinkable Greta James. I loved that book, 5 stars. I was sobbing at the end of it. I just thought it was a beautiful story. Thinking back on it, it's probably like a 4.5. There was a romance throughout the story that I don't think was super necessary and I don't think was wrapped up very well. So I would dock some points for that. But the story of Greta and her dad, oh, just made me a puddle. It was so cute. I loved it. The next one was a NetGalley book, The Homewrecker by Mary Kay Andrews. And I really enjoyed it. The first book I ever read from her was The Newcomer last year. Gave that 5 stars. This one I didn't love as much. It follows this woman who lives on Tybee Island in Georgia. And she fixes up houses. And this guy sees her from the equivalent of HGTV and offers her a show to redo this house. It turns into a mystery. I really enjoyed it. I didn't love it as much as The Newcomer, but nothing bad to say about it. Then I read Cover Story. I really enjoyed this one too. It was a lot of like mixed media. Basically the whole book is like emails and documents from the investigation and text messages. It was a fun read. I really enjoyed it. I thought the ending was predictable. A lot of reviews that I'm seeing, people were surprised by the ending. So if you don't read a ton of thrillers, maybe you would be surprised by it too. Like I said, I kind of saw it coming. However, it did not make me enjoy it any less. I still really loved the book. And I think I gave it 4 stars. The last Kindle book that I read was What Happened to the Bennetts by Lisa Scottoline. Oh my gosh. Oh! Okay, if you enjoyed Razorblade Tears or you like action-packed books, please pick this one up. I loved it. So I read it on my Kindle and then I had the audio from the library. And when I tell you, I could not get enough of this book. So I started it on a Tuesday after work, and I get off on Tuesdays at 4. I read it all night, and then Wednesdays are my busiest work day of the week. I see clients from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. with a couple of breaks, but pretty much 12 hours straight, and I finished it Wednesday night. It was so good. The person who reads the audiobook, Eduardo Ballerini, so good. Oh my gosh. So this book is told from the dad's perspective of this family. And I don't read a ton of thrillers from a man's perspective. It was just kind of different, but oh my gosh, I loved it. Ugh. Please pick it up because I need to talk to somebody about it. And then the last book that I read was The Secret Lives of Church Ladies, which is a short story collection. It's very small. And I am not a short story fan. That's just not my jam. But I did really enjoy this. It's not necessarily a new favorite. However, my favorite story in the collection is called, dun, 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 here's the suspense, Peach Cobbler. God, I loved that story. Some other ones were pretty good too, but Peach Cobbler was my favorite. I think I will remember it the most. It was so good. So definitely recommend reading it. It was a 4-star book for me, but like I said, not necessarily a new favorite. But if you like short stories, I definitely encourage it. That's it for April. I hit the biggest reading slump I have ever been in during the month. So to still get through 9 books, I'm pretty proud of that. I know some of them were pretty small, but I am proud of getting through that. On to May. I picked out some good books, good looking books with book of the month. And I think that's it. So, did we read any of the same books? If so, what did you think? Or what was your favorite book of this month? But I think that's it for me today. Go drink some water, take good care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!